where he tells him everything about the game and the kidnapped people on the island. Of course, they don't believe him and think he's crazy. They ask him to bring evidence to support his claims, then leave. Feeling frustrated because no one believes him and the police won't help, he leaves the station and decides to rely on himself. He calls the leader's assistant and tells him, "We have to act on our own." They realize they have 5 days until the game ends and decide to split into 2 teams, one to go with the captain to the ship to search for the island, and the other to try to find any evidence. The assistant agrees and sits with the captain, but can't keep a secret, and tells him everything he knows about the game. At that moment, Gi-hun dreams that the second game has changed, and the triangle has become, unfortunately, complicated. All the contestants blame him, and he wakes up startled. The other contestants wake up as well. The pregnant girl goes to talk to the YouTuber. He asks her, "You're here since when?" She replies, "Don't play dumb, you know I'm here." Not only that, but he's the father of the baby in her womb. He asks her, "Why are you still keeping it?" She replies, "I want to raise it." He asks, "Then why did you participate in the game?" She says, "I'm just like you. I gambled all my money on cryptocurrencies and lost it." Suddenly, the guards enter and ask the contestants to come with them for the second game. They take them to the place where they will play and ask them to form teams of 5 people, giving them 10 minutes. Gi-hun is surprised that the game has changed and gets angry. The contestants think he was deceiving them, but he apologizes and tells them that he was telling the truth, but no one believes him. They all abandon him, leaving him with only contestant number 1. He warns them not to come near him and threatens that anyone who does will regret it. Everyone is scared and walks away. Gi-hun thanks him. They agree to form a team together to win. 2 others join them, making 4, but they need 1 more to complete the team. The contestants start forming teams with each other. The YouTuber goes to the pregnant girl to form a team with her, telling her, "You need us to win and stay alive because no one will accept a pregnant girl." But she refuses because she no longer trusts him after he abandoned her and the baby once. At the same time, contestant number 7 takes his mother to join another team, but they refuse because she's old and won't be of any help. She asks him to leave her and join on his own, but he refuses to abandon her. His mother feels guilty and tells him, "Go and I will find another team, it's okay." But he refuses to abandon his mother, saying, "By God, I could never do that." He reassures her that she will surely find a team. Afterward, the pregnant girl goes to Ji-hoon and asks for his help. She requests to join the team, but they initially refuse because she is weak. Then they find out she is pregnant and that this is her last chance. They feel sorry for her and agree. 10 minutes later, they finish up. Each team sits together to understand the rules of the game. It turns out to be a race with several games, consisting of 5 games in total. Each team member must play one of the games. They start assigning games to each other based on their skills to increase their chances of winning. The race begins with the first 2 teams. The first game involves flipping 2 cards face up to move on to the next game, which involves throwing stones to knock down targets. The third game involves throwing stones again, but this time according to their numbers and colors. You hold one, throw the rest, then balance them on your palm, flip them, and catch them. If successful, you proceed to the next game, which involves spinning a rope and throwing it. The final game requires bouncing a ball on your foot 5 times. Unfortunately, the first 2 teams fail to complete all the tasks, leading to their elimination. This terrifies the remaining contestants as they realize their lives are at stake. The guards come in to remove the eliminated contestants, placing them in coffins. However, they notice one person is still alive and decide to send him back. That person, of course, is Sion, contestant number 11. Because of this, 2 more guards are sent in. Next, it's the turn of the team, with the old woman and her son. Noticing the fear and tension in her team, the old woman reassures them, saying, "Don't worry about me. I survived the war. I won't die in a children's game." She boosts their confidence and assures them they can win. The young girl in the team manages to flip the cards face up. Then it's contestant number 7's turn, and his mother tells him to knock down the targets in front of him. He succeeds, and finally, it's the old woman's turn. She impressively completes her task, leaving everyone amazed. Then it's the turn of the fortune teller, who must play the rope. Spinning game. She gets nervous and fails the first 2 attempts. Losing hope, she almost gives up, but someone next to her encourages her, saying, "If you don't finish and win, I'll kill you right now." Motivated, she succeeds and wins. Finally, it's the turn of the last contestant, who must bounce the ball 5 times. Everyone waits anxiously to see if they will win. Slowly but surely, they progress and finally cross the red line, becoming the first team to win. This gives the other teams some confidence. One team, after another, prepares to win, leaving only Ji-hoon's team. The pregnant girl gets ready to play the card game and succeeds on her first try. Next up is the contestant beside her, who knocks down the stones successfully. The third contestant, with his quick hands, manages to outperform the old woman, proving his skills and leaving everyone shocked. In mere seconds, he completes the task. Then it's the turn of contestant number 1, who must spin the rope and make the top spin. He tries once but pushes it too far forward and fails. They bring him back to try again, but he throws it too far back and fails again, wasting the time they had saved. On the 3rd attempt, he finally succeeds. With little time left, it's Ji-hoon's turn to bounce the ball 5 times. He manages the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, but falters on the 5th. At this point, contestant number 1 helps him, and together, they manage to win. The skilled team emerges victorious, but the remaining contestants are upset, thinking the prize money would increase if fewer people were alive. After the game ends, the guards return to their positions. The 2 guards who were upset with number 11 follow her to her room. A soldier observes them and acts as if nothing unusual is happening. They try to cover up what's going on and question her, realizing she is a girl. They warn her to stay away and tell her not to interfere, threatening her with harm next time. However, she remains fearless and tells them she knows what they've done. They leave, but warn her again. Later, the guards inform the contestants that 255 players remain, meaning each person's share is now approximately $78 million. The contestants protest, saying, "How is it only $78 million? The square guard explains that the prize money can increase as long as they continue to participate in the upcoming games. But now it's time to vote on whether to continue playing or not. Despite the large sum of money, they still want more. Even those who initially refused, like the old woman's son and Ji-hoon's teammate, now agree to continue. This time, the vote result is entirely different. Almost everyone agrees to stay. They decide to rest and prepare for the next game. However, Ji-hoon warns them, saying, "You must be careful. Last time, people were killing each other to reduce the number of contestants. The prize money will increase, and they'll earn more." They take precautions, setting up shifts to guard each other while sleeping. Luckily, nothing happens that night, and everything goes smoothly. The next day, they wake up and prepare for the 3rd game. They are taken to a strange place that resembles an amusement park, where they are spun around. The guards explain that the game is called the mixing game, and ask the contestants to step forward to the platform. When the game begins, they must form teams within 30 seconds and enter the doors ahead. But it's not that simple. A random song will play, and they must divide into teams based on the number mentioned in the song. Each team must hide in a room, and anyone left without a team will lose and die. The contestants are shocked to learn how difficult the game is. However, they develop and complete it because they have no other solution. They all go to stand on the spinning game. The song starts playing, and everyone is tense and scared. Suddenly, the song stops, and a voice tells them 10. They realize that each 2 teams must enter a room together. Each team starts looking for people to join them. Ji-hoon's team collaborates with the team of the old lady and her son. They succeed in entering a room together just in time. The countdown ends, and the guards begin eliminating anyone who couldn't find a team. Ji-hoon feels helpless because he cannot stop them or protect them. Thus, the 1st round ends, and the 2nd round begins. The participants stand on the game again, which starts spinning while the song plays. Suddenly, the game stops, and a voice says 4. They realize that each team must consist of 4 people. Each team starts to abandon one member. Jahoon decides to risk his life to save his team, leaving them to ensure they become 4. He asks them to enter a room, but number 1 refuses, saying he will go with them and find another team. Jahoon reluctantly listens to him because there is no time left. Indeed, the countdown ends, and the guards eliminate the participants. A team violates the rules by entering a room. With only 3 people, thinking the guards didn't notice, they celebrate their survival, but the guards is monitoring them from everywhere. He sees them on the cameras and decides to punish them for cheating in the game. He informs the guards of their location, and they are eliminated as an example for anyone who breaks the rules. Afterward, the participants leave the rooms. Jahoon is worried about participant number 1 and searches for him everywhere, only to discover that he is still alive. He rejoices and thanks him for what he did. Number 1 checks on the pregnant girl, asking her to take care of the baby in her womb. The YouTuber overhears this and feels ashamed because a stranger is protecting his girlfriend and child. The second round ends, and the third round begins. The participants board the game, and the song starts playing. The game spins them around, and everyone is tense and nervous, wondering who will be eliminated this time. The game stops, but this time the number is 3. They are shocked and must split up. Each team starts abandoning 2 of their members. Unfortunately, the old lady's team forcibly takes her son, leaving her alone. He tries to return to her, but they stop him. The old lady is scared and feels that this is the end. At the right moment, Jahoon appears and takes her with him, hiding in a room together just in time. Number 1 is surprised to see her alone and asks if her son abandoned her and ran away. She is upset by his words and tells him that her son loves her and would never do that no matter what. She cries, explaining that they got separated against their will. Number 1 is moved and apologizes for his words. The countdown ends and the guards appear, eliminating a large number of participants who lost. The remaining participants leave, each looking for their team to ensure they are safe. The old lady is overjoyed when she sees her son, running to hug him. He apologizes for leaving her, but she forgives him, saying she is not upset with him. In the next round, they decide to stick together no matter what. The round begins, and they board the game. The song starts playing, and it spins them around for a long time until it suddenly stops. This time, the number is 6. The participants rush to form teams and enter rooms. Jahoon decides to let the girl and the elderly people enter first to save their lives. Then, he and number 1 search for a room and manage to enter just in time before the countdown ends. However, the pregnant girl accuses them of forcing her to join the old lady's team and her son, along with another person. She tries to save her friends by asking to enter quickly, but the YouTuber enters and locks the door on her. The countdown ends, leaving her outside without a team, and she is tragically eliminated in front of her team, who cannot do anything and are devastated. Her friend grieves for her, crying and blaming the YouTuber for what happened. He defends himself, saying everyone here is looking out for their own survival and that anyone in his place would have done the same. His girlfriend supports him, saying he is right. Afterward, they leave the room, and the YouTuber thanks his girlfriend for defending him, but she remains upset with him and returns to her old team. They prepare for the final round, with only 100 participants left alive. They board the game, and the song starts playing as it spins them around. Everyone is on edge, not knowing what the number will be. Jahoon guesses it will be 2 to eliminate half of the remaining participants. Indeed, the game stops, and it becomes clear that each pair must hide in a room. The participants rush to find empty rooms, fighting with each other as everyone tries to save their own life. Number 1 uses his strength to knock down anyone in his way and successfully enters an empty room with one of his teammates. However, they find a stranger inside, and a fight ensues. Number 1 strangles the stranger until he is no longer a threat. His teammate is shocked by what he has done, realizing he is capable of anything to survive. The third game ends, and the surviving participants leave to rest. The YouTuber takes the opportunity to talk to his girlfriend, trying to reconcile. He promises her that if they survive, they will start a new life together and he will take care of her and their child. She realizes he is trying to deceive her to get her money, refuses, and leaves him. The guards then enter and inform the participants that the game is over. Each person will win 300 million if they withdraw. A vote is held to decide whether to continue the game and win more or withdraw with the current amount. Ji-hoon is the first to vote for withdrawal. The other participants also vote, but greed blinds them. The result is 50 votes to continue and 49 to withdraw. It all comes down to participant number 1, who must decide. His teammate is scared because he witnessed him eliminating someone in the الحبار game. He chooses to continue because he is greedy for money, but he is surprised that he decides to withdraw. Thus, the result becomes a tie. The guards decide to hold the vote again tomorrow, giving them time until then to think carefully. Meanwhile, we see the officer and his men finally reach the island. They manage to find a secret door and decide to enter through it to rescue Ji-hoon and the remaining contestants. However, as soon as they open it, a massive explosion occurs. They realize it was a trap. The contestants regroup. The old woman and her son try to convince the others to withdraw, telling them that the money they would receive is enough to improve their lives and live comfortably. However, the others remain greedy, wanting to continue and win billions. They suggest another round to double the prize money. The bully starts provoking others with his words, wanting to continue until a big fight breaks out. He attacks the YouTuber, knocking him to the ground, and tries to strangle him, threatening to harm his girlfriend and child. The YouTuber gets angry and defends himself, hitting the bully with a food tray and killing him. Realizing what he has done, he panics and hides in the bathroom, leaving the situation in chaos. A violent fight breaks out, resulting in the deaths of many contestants. The survivors return to the remaining contestants, each accusing the other of trying to eliminate them to win the vote. Some want to stay in the game, while others want to leave. Meanwhile, Hwang and his men are on a ship, but a large storm hits the sea. One of his men checks on the drone scouting the island and discovers that the captain has sabotaged it. Shocked, he realizes the captain has been a traitor all along and knew about the Squid Game. He tries to inform Hwang, but the captain follows him, kills him, and throws him into the sea. Back in the game, Ji-hoon learns that several people from the team wanting to continue the game have died, while only one from the opposing team has died. This means their numbers have increased, giving them an advantage in tomorrow's vote. Contestant number 1 fears the other team might attack them while they sleep, to ensure their numbers remain higher, forcing the continuation of the game. He suggests attacking first, but Ji-hoon refuses, stating that their real enemies are the game organizers and not each other. They agree on a plan. At night, the guards turn off the lights to make the contestants sleep. The team, wanting to continue, uses this opportunity to attack those wanting to withdraw. Unfortunately, many are killed, turning the place into a battlefield. Ji-hoon and his team hide under the beds, waiting for the guards to intervene. When the guards arrive to stop the contestants from killing each other, Ji-hoon and his team seize the opportunity to take the guards' weapons. They successfully overpower many guards, but one guard injures Ji-hoon from behind. Contestant number 1 saves him just in time, protecting him. Ji-hoon and his team cooperate, overpowering the guards with relentless attacks. The game director, watching through the cameras, is shocked by the events. He orders the guards to retreat and start sealing the doors. However, Ji-hoon and his team capture one of the guards before he escapes, intending to interrogate him. One of Ji-hoon's team members, driven by revenge for the deaths of the other contestants, wants to kill the remaining players. Ji-hoon stops him, reminding him that their real enemies are the game organizers. He destroys the cameras to prevent the director from monitoring their actions. They collect weapons from the fallen guards. The guards, furious, activates the alarm and summons all the soldiers on the island. Ji-hoon speaks to the remaining contestants, explaining his plan to capture the game organizers and make them pay. He asks for volunteers who know how to use weapons, but initially no one agrees, fearing for their safety. Eventually, some contestants gather the courage to join him, realizing they won't survive if they stay in the game. A special forces woman distributes weapons to them, explaining how to use them. Ji-hoon interrogates the captured guard, removing his mask, only to discover he is a young man forced into this role. The guard asks Ji-hoon to take him to the game director. Using the guard's key, they leave the room. As they ascend, a group of soldiers appears on the stairs, shooting at them to prevent them from advancing. The special forces woman skillfully takes them down one by one, significantly reducing their numbers. Fortunately, none of Ji-hoon's team members are injured. They collect ammunition from the fallen soldiers and continue their journey. They reach the control room, where Ji-hoon orders the guard to open the door. The guard explains that Ji-hoon must wear a mask for the door to open, which Ji-hoon agrees to. However, the guards have set a trap. Suddenly, they appear from the windows and start shooting. The captured guard is killed in the crossfire. The contestants try to hold them off, while Ji-hoon and one of his team members seize the opportunity to reach the control room. Using the mask of a fallen guard, they successfully open the door. Ji-hoon places a weapon on the ground to keep the door open. They continue their path, working together to defeat the guards on the stairs. Feeling like they are in a maze, they struggle to find their way. They try to follow the path the guards used, but encounter many guards on the stairs, leading to another intense shootout to block their way. The second team is still fighting the guards, but their ammunition is almost depleted. Contestant number 1 takes 2 with him to help John, because he is their only hope to get out of here alive. At that moment, John's ammunition runs out, and he is forced to risk his life. He goes to take weapons from the dead guards and manages to do so. Then contestant number 1 arrives to help him and asks if he has a plan. John asks him to circle behind the guards and take them out from behind. He gives him the ammunition he has and reassures him that their team won't abandon them, telling him to trust them. They begin executing the plan. Meanwhile, one of the team members goes to collect ammunition from the guards who died in the room, but then he hears gunfire, gets scared, and freezes, unsure of what to do. They keep talking to him through the walkie-talkie, asking him to return to them, but he throws the device away and doesn't respond. This forces the girl from the special forces to risk her life to retrieve the ammunition from him. At this moment, contestant number 1 successfully circles behind the guards and prepares with his team to attack them. And then comes the surprise. He shoots the 2 with him and takes them out. Unfortunately, it turns out he was a traitor all along. They thought he had changed for the better, but he turned out to be the root of the problem. He talks to John through the walkie-talkie, pretending he failed and mimicking the sound of his teammate dying. Afterward, the guards realize they are out of ammunition and seize the opportunity to surround all the contestants, forcing them to surrender. The contestants think they will be spared, but the guards kill them for breaking the rules. John's ammunition also runs out, and he and his teammates surrender. The guards capture them, and the director himself comes to punish them. However, he refuses to kill John, saying the game will continue and cannot be stopped. Not only that, he approaches John's friend and kills him in front of his eyes. He leaves John behind, who is shocked by what happened. John breaks down, repeatedly blaming himself for everything that happened. But he decides to take revenge on all of them, no matter what. And thus, the series ends. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and activate the notification button so you never miss an updates.